welcome back. In today's episode, we're going to landmarks. So we'll start with the Antel Rock Prison. Antel Rock is the most secure maximum security prison in Swordland. It was built in 1941 under the security directive of Turco Sol's interior minister. The octangular-shaped compound houses the most criminals in Swordland has, and is located on a large rocky half-island off the city of Antel. Traitors, terrorists, and subversives are all imprisoned and questioned in this daunting facility that only had one successful escape attempt. Arch-Sanctuary of Dastnurti. The Arch-Sanctuary of Dastnurti is the most important religious building in Swordland. It is located in Dare, and is being managed by an Archpriest of Dastnurti. Thousands of pilgrims visit the important landmark during the Day of Dissension to praise the message of God sent down to Saint Dast and his 30 disciples. The core structure of the temple dates back 3,500 years and indicates that it was built at the same time as the Garden City of Crest. The unique architecture of the Arch-Sanctuary baffles architects, as it utilizes newer technologies even though it is ancient. It was renovated in the 1900s under initiative of the king, and has since been self-reliant. Basilics of Baal. The Basilisk of Baal is an ancient historical monument in Lashavim, visited by thousands of tourists every day. Archaeologists suggest that it is more than 2,500 years old. The language written on the basilisk indicates a completely different grammatical structure compared to Mercopian languages. 20 years ago, a famous archaeologist named Eudster deciphered the text, which indicated that it was a monument to the moon god, who protected the people during the cold of night. The basilisk is one of the most popular spots to visit in Lashavim, together with the Library of St. Wargent. Camp Strongarm is the largest military base in Swordland. Situated at the heart of Hullsword, Camp Strongarm houses 3 divisions of troops, totaling up to 50,000 soldiers, and a military airbase housing 100 warplanes. It was created by Colonial Sol after his coup succeeded to exert power in the capital for a longer term. Currently, it protects the government of Swordland that has the capacity to rapidly redeploy to oppose any real danger a neighboring country could impose. Hill of Pride was named during the declaration of the Kingdom of Swordland, when thousands of countrymen started proudly singing the new anthem of Swordland. It is located at the center of Hullsword, in between the most important government structures like the Moon Palace, the Supreme Court, the Grand National Assembly, and the Minister of Interior. The Hill of Pride is inside the large capital park, which gives Hullsworders a chance to relax from the city stress with free time activities in nature. The hill is a great symbolic importance because of the declaration of the kingdom and the republic, which took place on top of it during the last century. Library of St. Wury. In the year of 716, the world-famous library was built by St. Wurik and his loyal followers. It is a 3-story marble building influenced by ancient Guric architecture. The library contained the largest source of knowledge in the world. Records indicate that in the year 1000, around 11,000 books were stored here. The mission of the Library of St. Wurik was to gather and share valuable information. The duty of the librarians was to enlighten visitors, no matter the question. Disaster struck the library during the Marquian conquest. While thousands of the most important books were saved from the pillaging Khan, the rest was intentionally burned to the ground by raiders. So this is kind of Library of Alexandria vibe. The building barely survived and was restored in the late Renan period to serve as a historic site. The Maroon Palace. The Maroon Palace is where the executive branch of the Swordish government is situated. It was constructed to serve as the summer residence of the Obrecht Renan, but quickly became a structure of political importance. The turning point was in the Kingdom of Swordland, and it was announced from the balcony of the palace, reflecting the shift of the government power from Ernuri to Hullsword during the transition period. The Maroon Palace received its name from the maroon painted exterior walls. It was 100 rooms and several wings housing different branches of executive government. Underneath the structure is a highly secure situation room where the president is safe from any danger and evaluates any security risk. Sol Dam. The Sol Dam, also called Suzerain Sol Dam, is the largest source of hydroelectricity in Swordland. The construction was started by order of President Turco Sol in 1933 as a solution to the energy crisis that had existed in the region for decades and to reduce the nation's dependence on foreign energy. The contracts for constructing the facility were given to the Swordish State Cooperation, the Swordish Grid Corporation, and Gessam. The project was plagued with controversy and political problems due to the site being home to old bloodish village called Ism, which needed to be flooded incentive for the dam to be built. In the construction process, the local peopleism were forcibly relocated, and the village was razed, causing a backlash from the local population and watchtower of human rights. During the first relocation event, many Bloodish locals came to protest and tried to stop the construction from starting. In the protest, a soldier fired his rifle, killing a local Bloodish man named Watani Ashrath. This event, also known as the Ism Incident, caused turmoil in the region and led to the formation of the armed Bloodish resistance movement called the Bloodish Freedom Front. The dam opened 3 years after the tragic event. Despite the tumultuous events, it proved to be a huge political success for Twickenham's soul in the following years, especially praised by the majority of the country living in urban areas that faced blackouts. The country's electricity output tripled, and the dam lake formed was named Sol. Today it continues to fill the demand of Bergia and Nerix regions with a majority and the rest of the nation. Now let's go to regions. Agland. Agland, a strategic region of Swordland, shares its borders with the region of Nagriz and the countries of Agnolia and Rumburg. Its capital is Arvery, serving as a sizable population of the Agno-Swordish, the second largest minority group in the country. Geographically, Agland is often seen as an extension of Greater Agnolia, reflecting its historical association with the neighboring country of Agland. Agnolia. Yes, that's Agland. That's Agland. This is Agnolia. That makes sense to me. The regional economy, heavily reliant on trade with Agnolia, and the local fishing industry has historically often struggled with stagnation. Coupled with high unemployment rates, the economic hardship has positioned Agland as one of the more economically challenged regions in Swordland. Over the years, however, many Agnolian companies that used to operate within the region have relocated, leaving a palpable void in the local economy. Agland is bounded by the eastern Sorn Mountains in the north, marking its border with Rumburg. Agnolia lies to the northeast, and the vast Marquian Sea flanks the region's eastern edge. The northern landscape is punctuated by hills and mountains with minimal infrastructure, making traversing the area a challenging task. The region's coastal areas are characterized by bays, fords, and precipitous cliff lines, underscoring the geographical diversity. Agland also lays claim to Duru Island, where former President Terkel Sol resides, which is that little island right there. Bergia. Bergia is a landlocked region of Swordland, is encircled by the regions of Nargis, Reglis, Greater Holsword, and the countries of Wellen, Lesbia, and Rumburg. The capital city, Deir, is nestled in a river delta area in which many rivers pass and irrigate into farmlands. Bergia is home to a substantial Bloodish population, the most significant minority in Swordland, sometimes referred to its old Bloodish name, Bludia. Bergia covers most of the geographical expanse of Greater Blodia, with the exception of northern territories in Wellen and Lesbia. Despite its thriving economy, the region struggles with high unemployment rates. Agriculture, mining, and steel manufacturing form the bedrock of Bergia's economy, with the Bergia Steel Corporation standing out as a prominent business. The region also houses the Sol Dam, a critical power source for Swordland. For the followers of the Norse faith, Bergia is a pilgrimage destination owing to the arch sanctuary of Dissension located near. The region's geography is characterized by mountains on nearly all sides, including Bergia Mountains on the north, the Gumrin and Taurus Mountains along the western border with Wellen, and the Marden Mountains toward the south, bordering Lesbia. The fertile river deltas nestled among these mountains are interspersed with cities and farmlands. Bergia also hosts a significant portion of the Mars Forest, stretching from Sarna in the north to Gilsord. Speaking of Gilsord, bordering the region of Nargis, Bergia, and Greater Holsword, proudly hosts its administrative capital, Gilsord, along with the cities of Ribbury and Intel. Gislin's economy draws on a broad spectrum of industries. Many experimental factories and research and design centers find their home in the region, along with an array of small businesses. Known as Swordland's hub for technology and scientific exploration, Gilsord plays a leading role in the shaping of regional identity. The past decade has seen a marked growth in production sectors, particularly those involved with mechanical engineering and electronics industry. However, the output of these activities are often taken out of the city and to a larger haven such as Leithaven and Holsord for business but for local benefit. From a geographical perspective, Gilsund presents a remarkable array of natural features. The northernmost parts of the Mare's Forest spread out from Gilsord to Cerna, forming an integral part of the region's ecosystem. The Marquian Sea coast on the eastern side of Gilsland carves out a dramatic coastline of bay, cliff lines, and tiny islands. Among those, the renowned Antel Rock and the infamous Antel Rock Prison stands as prominent landmarks. Greater Holsord. Greater Holsord, one of the most important regions of Swordland, shares its border with Gruni, Gilsland, Borgia, and Lorne, as well as the neighboring country of Lesbia. The region's governance operates from Holsord, the bustling capital of Swordland, boasting an impressive population density that sets it apart from other Swordish regions. The economy of Greater Holsord is very robust and old, evident in its diverse industrial landscape. Large-scale businesses find their home in the region, with industries spanning from construction and logistics to mechanical engineering, as well as banking and some tourism. The economic dynamism lends Greater Holsord a competitive edge, setting it close contest with the region of Nargis. The geography of Greater Holsord is characterized by the serene flow of the Eskil River, tracing its path through Gin, Holsord, and Conriad. The northern coast of the region, lining the Marquian Sea, is distinguished by the famed Conriad Bay, an attraction for locals and tourists alike. Moreover, the historical city of Erlory, the former capital, nestles within the region, adding a layer of historical depth to the modern vitality of Greater Holsord. Gruni. Gruni, located within the borders of Swordland, is neighbored by Greater Holsord, Lorne, and the country of Lesbia, enriching its cultural identity through the diverse interconnectedness. The bustling city of Velgen, a hub of historic and economic significance, stands as the region's capital. The economic landscape of Gruni is a vibrant amalgam of farmlands, factories, and world-renowned vineyards. From when the esteemed Bourne wine originates, Gurney's agricultural richness and the scenic allure of its beaches draw a steady flow of tourists, adding a dynamic dimension to the regional economy. Basking in its fertile environment, Gruni's expanses transform into verdant vineyards that form a cornerstone of the region's identity. Along its eastern edge, Gruni meets the Atician Sea, hosting the pivotal port of Benfi that boosts the region's connectivity and economic prospects. The shared border with Lesbia enriches Gruni's cultural tapestry, resulting in a unique blend of customs, cuisines, and languages over time. The Valgum Dam, an emblem of Gruni's progressive outlook and a marvel of engineering, contributes significantly to power generation and water management in the region. Its grandeur also enhances the tourist appeal of Gruni, attracting those drawn to the blend of agricultural magnificence set amidst natural beauty. Gruni, with its economic vitality and distinct cultural identity, holds a central position in the diverse expanse of Swordland. Lorne. Lorne, nestled within Swordland, finds its borders shared with the region of Greater Holsord and Gruni and Morna, the regional capital. It is a testament to the industrial spirit of the people, even amidst historic economic challenges. The region's economy has faced new difficulties following the recession of 1951, but demonstrates resilience through its coal mining and factories, along with hosting the largest forestry industry in Swordland. The employment sector is significantly dominated by the Nidham mining group, woodland, forestry, and the Swordish grid corporations, underlining the region's focus on industrial output. A defining characteristic of Lorne is its expansive forest cover, comprising the greatest number of trees in Swordland. These dense verdant forests offer both ecological importance and an enriching vista for the inhabitants and visitors. Additionally, the famous Rock of Murden sits here, forming the closest geographical point to the neighboring Vagsland. This landmark serves as a symbolic reminder of the region's natural beauty and its close ties with its neighbors. Lorne's geographical landscape is painted by the Marquian Sea to its north and the Aegean Sea to its east, with its coastal line forming the southern border of the Grey Strait. This unique geographical position offers potential for marine activities and instills a sense of maritime identity in the region. Despite economic trials, Lorne stands as a region with substantial industrial output, abundant natural beauty, and a resilient spirit. Nargis. Nargis shares its borders with England, Gulsland, Bergia, and Greater Holsword, as well as the neighboring country, Rumburg. Lachavin, known commonly as the Gateway, is the economic nerve center of Swordland, serves as the regional capital, and contributes significantly to the region's population density and economic output. The economy of Nagriz pulses with vitality, largely credited to Lachavin's role on the trade hub. Despite the robust economy, Nargis features expansive tracts of underdeveloped land, the largest such of areas across Swordland. The region also boasts significant reserves of oil and other untapped natural resources, thus relying heavily on the oil and natural gas sectors, as well as agriculture and tourism. Gassam Corporation, a key player in the region, bolsters its economic profile with significant operations. Geographically, Nargis is situated against the Soren Mountains to the north, bordering Rumburg, and the Cavendier Mountain to the west. Its western expanse is characterized by hilly terrain, interspersed with mountains, posing a significant challenge to infrastructure development and traversal. The region's eastern boundary graces the Marquian Sea through the Gulf of Nargis, forming a scenic coastline adorned of bays and cliff lines. And we have completed locations! Woo! Just all this left to go. Borgia Steel was founded in 1889 and is part of the Big Four, the four largest companies in Swordland. It is primary steel manufacturer of Swordland and operates mainly in the Bergia region. It also works in steel construction projects and is highly successful due to the experienced architecture and engineers they possess. Bergia Steel is contracted by Welland for several works close to the Swordish border, and this has led many to increase the investments and interest due to its potential to rival the state corporations. With mainly dominant the public sector's contact, Walter Tusk owns a majority stake in the corporation. Gassam is a privately owned Swordish energy company that mainly contracts natural gas and engineering complex machinery. Currently it is headquartered in Lachavin, but it was originally incorporated in Holsword in 1925. Gassam is one of the largest corporations in Swordland. The Revolution's energy department of United Cortana had started the company as a joint venture with Swordish businessmen with ambitions to influence the Swordish economy. The political instability of the coup of 27 and the following Swordish Civil War led the Continental state to sell its shares. This left the board entirely to several Swordish businessmen who acquired the assets for cheap due to the post-Civil War recession. In 1930, Elwold Alfonso, who had acquired a slim majority of the shares, was elected CEO. Under Alfonso's tenure, Gassam hired world-class civil electrical, mechanical, chemical, and petroleum engineers from Enricum, Apurium, and Mercopa. The company expanded its primary operations around Nurbel in the Nergis region, where many untapped natural gas resources are located. The investment led by the corporation and the evacuation in and around Nurbel turned it from a town to a city, allowing the employment of all sorts for local populace needing more urban development. The Nature Preservation Foundation criticized the damage to natural wildlife done by the corporation. Still, the corporation has fulfilled most of the gas needs of Swordland, increasing its energy independence and autarky strategy promoted by Torquen's sole government. In 1932, Gassam sold a small part of its shares to his state under nationalization initiation of Torquen's Sol to fund further operation. It applied for and won contract award for co-construction of Erzan Sol Dam. The highly talented engineers of Gassam were vital prominent of the mega project. Besides the state-owned Swordish State Corporation and the Swordish Grid Corporation contributing to the project, Gassam was the only majority privately owned corporation to work on the construction. The corporation grew rapidly and successfully until the mid-1940s and relocated its headquarters to Lachavin. Elwold Alfonso resigned from his role as CEO and became the board chairman due to his pressing political ambitions in 1945. After the change in leadership to a new CEO, the company has been stagnating and seeking further investment to increase its declining production capability. Nadam Mining Group. One of the largest state-owned mining corporations in East Mercopa is the Nadam Mining Group. Nadam is part of the Big Four, the four largest companies in Swordland, as primarily operates in Loren and Bergia regions, but also has limited operations well in Lesbia and Angola. The corporation formed in 1879 and started as a small family gold mining enterprise, but quickly rose to a large operation due to the resource needs of industrialization. It was nationalized in 1933 by President Torquen's Sol control under the National Autarky Plan. Its largest extracted resources are coal, gold, and diamond, which generate high profit margins for the Swordish state. Swordish Grid Corporation. Founded in 1899, the Swordish Grid Corporation is tasked with construction and maintaining the energy infrastructure in the country. It is in charge of every government-owned energy source and distribution. It also specializes in the construction in the field. It is more experienced and efficient than other corporations. The fact that it is a government corporation does cause a lack of competitiveness and oversight, but overall they have a good track record from building power stations, dams, to power lines in desolate areas. Swordish Petroleum, founded by the Renan family in 1849 as a state asset, the Swordish Petroleum is the main extractor of oil in Swordland. It is focused in and around Eudster, where one of the 3 largest oil fields in the Marcopa continent lies. The corporation ran into many issues due to transitional governments and infighting between Swordish regimes, but has survived many political takeovers due to its strategic importance of fueling the critical transportation and manufacturing regiments of the state. Currently still extracts most of the oil needs of the country from north of Nergis. Swordish State Corporation. Founded in 1891, the Swordish State Corporation, SSC, is the main government corporation that tasked with running public construction contracts in Swordland. It is also a part of the Big Four, the 4 largest companies in Swordland. Most usually also called SSC, it is the most honorable company in the country, with a long and solid track record of accomplishing critical projects. In recent years, the efficiency of the corporation seems to have dropped due to the recession and the somehow corrupt management structure. It is still considered the safest bet for big projects in the minds of many government officials. Taurus Holdings. Founded in 1946 by Gerolf Fez, Taurus Holding is a new and entrepreneurial private company that uses cutting-edge construction technologies from Arcacia to reduce construction costs and prices. They recently began taking bigger and riskier contracts in several industries, including the construction industry. Taurus also deals with shipyard building, the bridge works, and trading aircraft hangars. The company is known for its great employee perks and high union membership. It is considered much more open and competitive compared to the usual Swordish corporations. They are known for their port expansion project in Bimphy, which was completed with half the budget. Underhall Construction. The real estate giant is owned by the mayor of Conriat, Chris Scholar. Most people in Swordland know the name of Underhall Construction by the many iconic buildings they've constructed in nearly all major cities. Recently, the company sold half of the shares to Walter Tusk, spokesperson of the Lothenburg Group. While this breached certain competition clauses, it was largely ignored. Underhall is a gigantic real estate company that is very influential in construction projects in the private sector. Some of their recent work is the Holsard Central Station, which they've completed on time but violated workers' rights in the process. The Heart of Swordland Conglomerate. The Heart of Swordland Conglomerate, HOS, is a multi-industry corporation worth tens of billions of SR, and is part of the Big Four, the 4 largest companies in Swordland. They are involved in many industries, but only have a monopoly in the media industry through the ownership of Swordland Today and the Swordish Broadcasting Corporation. They are heavily involved in radio, television, and advertising sectors. It was founded by the Conrad Carnegie, the first modern Swordish entrepreneur. Swordish citizens employed by HOS enjoy many benefits, such as huge salary bonuses, free private healthcare, and free housing. In the last decade, a leadership question has engulfed the organization, which slowed down its revenue, but it still remains a behemoth that can influence the economy, as well as the perception of society on certain issues. Recently, the eldest son of Conrad, Marcel Conrenti, has been the rising star of the conglomerate, and the potential candidate for CEO. Actually, we've already read these. Yeah, we have. So that's nice. We could at least skip that, because that is over the oligarchs, the reformists, and the old guard. Yep, so we can skip factions. Woo! That's one we can skip! Yay! But that means we don't have too many sections left, and I think this is a good time to go ahead and end this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.